Upon those claims, he claimed that Diddy his genital, touched his butt. He believes that Diddy was going to have sex. He says that Diddy downplayed it just like he as a joke, like, yo, we just playing around. He is claiming that Diddy repeatedly sexually assaulted him. This lawsuit is so long. It's so many, like, it's so many things that, you know, he's claiming Diddy did. Yeah.
In terms of allegations of celebrities, we're talking about Cuba Gooding Jr. being shown through still photos of what the complainant says they have videos of.
It looks like Brother Love is in some hot water now, folks, because there's a brand new lawsuit on the block. It seems like the folks who've had beef with Diddy are stepping into the spotlight, and one brave soul has hit him with a brand new lawsuit. But this isn't just any old claim. Oh no, this guy's not only calling out Diddy for some pretty bad stuff, but he's also pointing fingers at a whole crew he says helped Diddy run what sounds like a no-good ring filled with all sorts of wild shenanigans. And guess what? Even though they tried to keep some names under wraps in the lawsuits, our guys spilled the beans on a bunch of celebs, from Chris Brown and Meek Mill to Cuba Gooding Jr., Young Miami, and even Diddy's eldest, Justin Combs. Now, Cuba's name popping up is a total curveball since he's been off the radar for a bit, and we all know he's had a fair share of controversy and headline-grabbing antics. But here's where it gets juicy. Diddy's accusers threw in some pics of him with Cuba, claiming Diddy set them up and they both tried to push him into some shady business. And Young Miami sounds like she might have been dragged into this mess to help lure in other guys and gals, even going as far as to pull in some of her own relatives. Talk about a scandal. So yeah, there's a whole lot to sift through here. Let's dive into the nitty-gritty. Well, it looks like the tide has turned into some big-time drama in the world of Diddy, and it seems his reign might just be crashing down. The thing that could really topple him? RICO charges. Yeah, those are charges he's facing in the latest legal bombshell. And here's the juicy bit. Just before the lawsuit popped up, Diddy tried to shake off another accuser. He went to court to claim that one of the ladies calling him out was fibbing, saying he's been unfairly targeted by cancel culture lately. But before anyone could even react to his move, bam, another lawsuit lands, marking his 5th since November. But plot twist, this time it's not from a woman. It's a dude, a male producer who had a hand in Diddy's latest album, the Love album, Off the Grid.
Him to have sex. He says that Diddy downplayed it just like he as a joke, like, yo, we just playing around.
Just horse playing.
Yeah. When he would call him out about it, or he would say anything.
This whole drama started with Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr. stepping into the spotlight with a lawsuit filed on February 26th in a federal court in New York. Jones spilled that he was basically Diddy's shadow, hanging around with him from September 22 to November 2023. If you take a peek at his Instagram, you'll see it's not just talk. There's even a clip of them working out, likely on Diddy's yacht, somewhere early in 2023. So Jones isn't just throwing around words here. He's got receipts.
This lawsuit is so long. It's so many, like, it's so many things that, you know, he's claiming Diddy did.
In his lawsuit, Jones doesn't hold back. He claims to have caught on video and audio a whole lot of other shady stuff going down with Diddy and his entourage, including some big names doing things they shouldn't. He accuses Diddy of crossing lines without permission, trying to drag him into these rumored parties with other guys. Diddy even dangled a Grammy in front of him as a bribe, telling him to taste the rainbow, if you catch my drift. Jones didn't just stop with Diddy either. He also called out other producers from the Love album, Stevie J, saying he too was pushing him into these sketchy get-togethers. According to Jones, Diddy had him scouting for, well, let's just say special company online, pressuring him to arrange certain encounters for Diddy's enjoyment. In one wild claim, Jones said he ended up disoriented with no clothes on in a bed with 2 others, and Diddy suspecting something was slipped into his drink the night before. But wait, there's more. The lawsuit was also throwing shade at some big-time industry players, including honchos at the record label, claiming they were all in on enabling Diddy's wild lifestyle. So yeah, this lawsuit is not just a splash, it's a whole tsunami of allegations.
But this is a contract that you signed, like you still signed it. You knew it was BS, you knew it was pennies, you know all of that. That's what I'm saying. Like, people read and don't be so, like, starstruck about.
Jones is basically saying that Diddy and a bunch of others teamed up for what he's calling a RICO enterprise. Usually, if you hear about RICO cases, you hear about talking about mobsters, right? Well, Jones is suggesting Diddy's setup isn't too far off from that. He's spilling the tea that Diddy was all about hiring folks to bring in workers and deal with substances and weapons out of his swanky Miami pad. On top of that, Jones claims he was kept on a tight leash with threats, cut off from music gigs, and hasn't seen a penny for the 9 tracks he produced for the Love album.
It's the contract that they give me and the offer that they gave me was just disgusting. The producer fee, pennies, and on top of that, these guys are trying to steal my.
Now, let's talk about a juicy part of those whispered about parties. In his lawsuit, Jones drops a bomb about an encounter with Diddy's pal, Cuba Gooding Jr., right on Diddy's yacht too. He says Cuba was way out of line, crossing boundaries nobody should. And guess what? Jones even has a pic of Cuba getting too close for comfort, trying to back up the story. We've seen Cuba in hot water before, with a bunch of women calling him out back in 2019 for some not so cool behavior. But this is the first time a guy's pointing a finger at him. Back in 2019, Cuba had a rough patch when he got nabbed for some inappropriate moves at a Times Square bar. Although he managed to skirt around jail time with a plea deal, the Survivors Act let 2 people who had issues with Cuba sue him, just like Cassie did with Diddy last November. And to stir the pot even more, there's now pics floating around of Cuba living it up with Diddy. With all these accusations flying around, it's got everyone buzzing about what's really going on between Diddy and Cuba. As for how they're dealing with Rodney Jones's lawsuit, Cuba's been quiet as a mouse. Diddy's side, though, jumped right into the action. His lawyer, Sean Hawley, told TMZ straight up that they're calling Rodney a fibber just looking for a quick buck. They're denying all the accusations and seem ready to fight back. Diddy's lawyer, Sean Hawley, didn't miss words when talking to TMZ. He called Lil Rod a straight-up fibber who's chasing a $30 million jackpot he doesn't deserve. According to Hawley, Rod's just dropping names and spinning tales that are totally make-believe, aiming to snag some media spotlight. But hang on, didn't Diddy play the same card with Cassie? Right after she filed a lawsuit, Diddy was quick to deny everything, claiming she was just after his wallet. Twist in the tale? Cassie's lawyer let slip that Diddy was the one waving money first, trying to buy her silence. But Cassie wasn't having it, sticking to her guns with the lawsuit. And then, in a blink, Diddy flips the script, deciding to settle with Cassie quietly. The shocking lawsuit said that Combs took over her personal and professional life and mistreated her in a physical manner, forced her to have intimate encounters, and constantly threatened to hurt her as well. According to the lawsuit, Combs started pursuing Ventura aggressively after she signed with Bad Boy at age 19 and quickly became famous. He even invited himself to a party for her 21st birthday and kissed her against her will, showing right away how powerful and influential he was. The lawsuit also said that Ventura thought she couldn't say no to Combs' advances or substance offers because he started Bad Boy Records and could hurt her career if she did. The lawsuit says that he led her to an ostentatious, fast-paced, and substance-fueled lifestyle. Combs was said to have uncontrollable rage and made Ventura engage in highly intimate acts with male intimacy workers that he filmed and photographed. The suit says she was given substances before and during the events that helped her disassociate during these horrific encounters. According to a lawsuit, Ventura was a victim because she had to perform certain acts against her will in several cities. Combs also severely mistreated her. Fans can't help but whisper, does settling mean he's admitting something? And it's Diddy after all, so you'd think he'd go all out to clear his name. Now, turning the spotlight to Diddy's ex, Young Miami, who also was caught up in this mess. According to Rodney Jones, he paints her as a Diddy's recruiter-in-chief, likening her to Ghislaine Maxwell, tasked with luring unsuspecting folks into Diddy's circle. Jones claims Young Miami was on Diddy's payroll for these services, even involving her cousins to coax Jones into sketchy situations. The plot thickens, doesn't it? So, with the lawsuit throwing around RICO allegations, everyone's on the edge of their seat wondering how Diddy will wriggle out of this one. Fans are all over this, with reactions ranging from shock to outright disgust. Some are even comparing Diddy to R. Kelly, calling for a RICO crackdown. The internet's buzzing with calls to hold Diddy and his accomplices accountable for their actions, too. What's your take on this whole story? Do you think Diddy is facing a RICO reckoning? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.